Wake up to the sunrise, let the day begin. Johnny and Mark are here, let the laughter in. With every sip of coffee, feel the warmth inside. Conversations and humor take you for a ride. Your morning boost with Johnny and Mark, a perfect blend of laughter, igniting the spark, inspiration and insight. Join the journey, let them light your way. It's a brew of connection, a world to explore, a network of voices opening the door. With Johnny and Mark, feel the power of two, a morning tradition just waiting for you. As the day unfolds, carry what you've heard, inspire and inform with every single word. Johnny and Mark beside you as you start a new day, the morning show that lifts you through and through. A network of voices opening the door. With Johnny and Mark, feel the power of two, a morning tradition just waiting for you.
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana. Here at Cajun Roots Reselling, you make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
See the special man.
You got the dollars, make me an offer. New England Cajun Roots, Johnny understands.
Johnny understands.
Let him have it with no problem, see the special man. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
Hello, good morning, and welcome on this Monday morning. How's everybody doing? And hope you had a great first of the spring weekend, first day of spring. It didn't feel like no spring around here. This morning I woke up, and it was not but just a little bit of a rain going on, and then all of a sudden by 5 o'clock it started snowing. And we're at 30 degrees. It ain't spring, it's still winter here. How about you over there in your neck of the woods, Mr. J?
We're at the other end of the extreme over here. It was 97 all weekend long, and go to take the dog out. The dog looks at you like, "Oh hell no!" I'm a black dog currently with a double coat. I don't want to go anywhere.
I hear that. I understand that one. Yeah, it's not fun. So I hope y'all had a great weekend, first of all, and thank y'all for being here on this Monday morning. And I just need to make sure I post my comment on Facebook, and we are done. One thing I have to wait till after the show started. So let's see who was first in the chat. That's none other than Little Debbie. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? She said we are skipping spring. That's what Jay was saying this morning too. Yeah. Ellen, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Happy day, campers. Remember, Monday is a state of mind. Put your positive pants and get stuff done. Girl, I've been doing that all weekend. Yeah.
Too warm to wear pants, Ellen. Too warm to wear pants.
Yeah, I've been wearing shorts. And if it would be from a morning show, I'd still be in tank top. Yeah, I wear my tank tops and shorts all day, every day. Regina says, good morning, hello, and Johnny and Mark and everyone. The quote to today, when you're wide awake. Yep, you got to be there. It's a goodness. That's right, it sure will. Don't worry, Debbie. Little tips will be on your way. Yes, indeed. Yeah, and how are you doing this morning? And Baby Girl Vibes, hello, good morning, and welcome. And
Hey, baby girl.
doing? Ellen, good to see you. It's already 65 here. Ooh. It's supposed to get into the 50s by the week, so we'll see. And how are you doing today, Baby Girl Vibes? Hello, good morning, and welcome to each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And Jeffrey, Hello, good morning, and welcome. Hope you had a great weekend. Stephanie, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you.
Unicorn.
Jennifer, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you and
Hey, Miss
welcome.
Jennifer.
It was very nice on Saturday. Awesome. Yeah, I got a lot done, but yes, it was raining all day. That is spring in New England. Okay, somebody needs to find it. Yeah, I don't think so.
Hmm.
And Heather, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you
Hey,
and
Heather.
welcome. Somebody asked me yesterday if all the snow's been melted in my area. No, except for the where they put all the overload on the street right next to my driveway right here. It's still not there. It's still piled up. Still waiting for that to go away. Glenn, hello, good morning, and welcome. And Heather, hello, good morning, and welcome.
Hey,
And how are you?
Swampy.
Have full day of baseball practice. Well, good. Hope you have a good day. Have fun. Hit them balls. Oh, that's right. You just coach. I don't know. What do you do over there? What's your job? Collecting the balls?
Hmm.
Anywho, hope y'all had a great weekend. I this weekend went and added more stuff to my new booth. Um, so I'm busy listing, tagging stuff, getting stuff ready for tomorrow. Because tomorrow I will be on with the Friend Song with Friends on Janine's channel tomorrow, and that's at 1:30. Also, don't forget this Saturday we do have our friend reseller community train sale shop hop this weekend. This Saturday to be exact. And also, if you would like to be on the monthly reseller community shop hop train sale, my
Bye,
next
Swampy.
available
Have a good
date.
one.
All right, Glenn, don't work too hard. May 30th will be only 2 spots left on that one. If you want to be on that one, let me know. Email me as well as, don't forget, my only date I have available for the Hump Day auction is July the 29th. I have 1 spot left for that day, that auction. Also, don't forget, if you have an eBay store and you have a level where you get a coupon, this will be the last week. You got until next Tuesday to use it, or you're going to lose it. But make sure you get your shipping supplies by using that coupon and get it, because April 1st we get a new one. Also, don't forget to keep Ms. Denise in your thoughts and prayers. She's making a slowly coming back on different auctions. She's been doing her PT and building up her strength in her shoulder. And she'll be back on the Hyundai auction on April the 1st. And Mark is doing okay. He's getting better, but still in pain. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Head coach needs me to do. Oh, okay. I hear that. Keep you busy. We had snow for Halloween. Look, I remember a couple of years ago we had snow in end of April. Yeah, don't like the weather. Wait, yeah, exactly. You right about that. And Michael, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see
Hey,
you.
Michael.
That's right. Use it or lose it, folks. So yeah, make sure you use it because it's part of your store level anyway. And also, I think I'm caught up on any news I need to give out. Jay, do you have anything as far as public service announcements?
Um, I don't. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I just got a text message that one of my authors just lost her battle with cancer.
Oh
Um,
no.
she went into hospice a couple days ago, and uh, it looks like her battle is over.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Um, she she was kind of legendary. Her She went by A.M. Cool in a world of comics and comic illustrating where it was such a male-dominated field. She was a true trailblazer. She worked on a lot of well-known comics like Vampirilla, and had such a huge following. She was about to. We've been working on editing her first novel, and
Oh, okay.
uh, looks like we're going to be working with the estate to figure out how to finish that out
Wow.
posthumously to get it out to everybody.
Sorry to hear that. Well, today we have a different topic. It's gonna be a simple one today, but needless to say, it's gonna be a topic. So without further ado, let's get into our topic of the day. today is it's never too late to unplug. Are you one of those that have that FOMO, the fear of missing out, or do you physically unplug to wind down? Jay, what about you?
I have got to get space away from technology. I need at least a couple hours away from it, particularly email, because, as a publisher, I get on average of 200 emails a day. Um, and I think we've created a sense of urgency around technology that doesn't need to be there. There was a time where we used to have to handwrite a letter and stick it in the mail and wait 7 days for it to get to the person, and wait another 7 days for a reply, and everybody was okay with that. Now you send an email and everybody panics about, why didn't I get a response within, like, 3 hours. um, and I think it's just set us all up for this sort of hamster wheel of needing to always be plugged in and always needing to be responding immediately, to everything. And I think we need to remember that it's important to put the phone down, put the computer down, slow down, and take a look around you at what's going on. I remember when I used to commute on Caltrain in California, and I mean Caltrain in Northern California. If you haven't been on it, goes from San Francisco all the way down the peninsula to San Jose, and it's one of the most beautiful train rides you can do. And it always blew my mind that people would just be nose deep in their phone or whatever and just completely ignoring all the beautiful views that were going by outside the train. And I'm like, if you were struck blind tomorrow, you won't have the memory of what that looks like. You won't have that to fall back on, and it just seems like such a shame.
And that's true too. You never know. Uh, Chrissy and Stacy, hello, good morning, and welcome. And Terry, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Ellen says, I've gotten a better handle on FOMO, especially now that the weather is nicer. Time to go out and play. And Scarlett, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to
Hello,
see you.
Scarlett,
Welcome.
my girl.
Stephanie says, I unplugged as often as I can, avoiding stress and burnout. It is important.
Very
That is
important.
true. Angela, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? She's
Hey,
working
Lady
and working.
Angela.
I do that a lot. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hello, and good morning. So again, what are some of the things that you do to unplug if you do? Or are you one of those that have that FOMO, the fear of missing out? I have to say for me, usually I get all my work done because I'm usually up about 1:15, 1:30 lately in the morning since the time change. I don't know why, it's just a habit. But I get a lot done in the morning. But for me, once I'm done with this YouTube morning show or any show that I'm doing on YouTube, every now and then I do go in and say hello when I know somebody's going to go live, but I don't stay in there the whole show, first of all. But second of all, I unplug when I go to bed. We live in I say three stories because my office and everything's in the basement. The living quarters, as far as like your living room, kitchen, and all that, is on the second floor. And then the third floor is the sleeping quarters, so I call it. For me, these right here do not come to bed with me. They stay on the chargers downstairs in the kitchen. Because if somebody has a phone call or they leave me a message, because I'll get back with you in the morning. I just don't. The only thing I do have upstairs is a tablet, but I do not use it for anything but for me to wind down and play like little games and things like that. Usually within 15, 20 minutes, I'm done and I'm already in bed sleeping. But that's just the way I do things because I want to unplug. I want to have that time for myself. You deserve it. You need to do it because always being on your computer, and of course, there's statistics about it that it can drain your system and your body. Oh, and that's not good. But for me, I usually tend to hear things that happen, whatever. If I missed it, oh well, I'm sorry, I wasn't there. But no, I'm not sorry because that's my time. I try to get a lot done. So for me to stay on the computer or on my phone, no, that's just me. Uh,
I make sure that I put my phone into bedtime mode every night from 9 o'clock, and it doesn't go out of bedtime mode until I'm ready to get up and take it out of that. And
well, that's
I
a
don't,
great. I'm glad you said that.
because
Usually,
and then I have it set so that only a couple key people can get through. For if there's an emergency, then their calls will, my sister, my dad, but for the or But other than that, it's like no notifications, no nothing. I don't want to hear a peep out of my device all night long.
Exactly. That's why I don't bring it to bed with me. But I do like when I'm doing live shows. I do put my phones on do not disturb. But yeah, other than that, I'll catch it when I wake up.
But I'm
Same
curious, Johnny,
with
when you're with all the shows you do, and always appearing on other shows or running shows, and that's so many hours a day. Like, how do you, for people that are doing auctions so often because sometimes they need to, that's their sole source of income. Like, how do you break away from that? Because you sort of have to be there online and dealing with it and listing products on eBay or wherever. How do you deal with keeping up with all the stuff that has to happen electronically, but still finding even a day to be able to walk away from everything and say, okay, today's the day that I don't list any products, I don't do any reselling, I don't do any videos. Like, how do you find a day that you don't touch technology?
usually it's on Sundays. Usually in the mornings, like Monday through Saturday, I'm taking pictures, getting things listed, putting drafts together so I can do that during the week. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is my biggest, busiest day because then I have things I go to bring, tagged it off of my antique booth, and then on Sunday I'll go out to my booth and bring stuff, check my booth, clean it up, organize, change things around, that kind of thing. But to be in the computer and all that all the time, Sunday is once I'm done in the morning, usually about 9, 10 o'clock, I'm done for the day, and that's every day. That's just unless I have a double show like Wednesdays, and that's okay. Unless I'm a guest on somebody's show, but I plan for that to where I take and do another day during the week that I don't do anything, which is very few and far between. Because I cannot sit still and sit there and watch TV all day in my recliner. I gotta physically
Hmm.
be doing something. I missed the chat, but I know things are taken care of. Life, everything goes. That's true, and life goes on. It doesn't stop because you're not there. I know a lot of times somebody says, "Well, I did a show last night and I did a live. Did you see it?" No, but I will watch it on the replay. That kind of thing, because I just don't sit here and watch everybody's show when it goes live all the time. I don't have the time of the day for that. I don't stress out anymore about popping into every show. I don't either. I can't. If I can, if I got the time and I'm not doing anything, yeah, I'll do it. But I'm not going to make it a purpose that I have to be in everybody's show when they go live. It's just like, it's impossible. So that's one of the things you do need to understand. You got to make sure that you have time for yourself, but you also have to understand that not everybody's going to make your live shows when you're doing a live every day, 7 days a week. You know, it's just impossible. Unless somebody's there that don't have nothing better to do but to be on that computer and be in everybody's shows and the fear of missing out. Funny thing is that YouTube is my way of to unplug. Really?
I can
Okay.
see that, Michael. Especially if you're deliberately searching out like videos that are of interest to you, or you know, if you don't get to chat with humans during the day, a chance to like reconnect with humanity, even if it is through electronic means. I can understand that part.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of us stay home, and that's the only means we have to communicate with others. So I can understand that. But there is a time and a place for you to unplug and get away from all that and just be in that serenity for yourself, um, and not worrying about what everybody's doing. Hello, good morning, and welcome, Auntie Mama. How are you
Auntie
doing? Good to see
Mama,
you.
hello.
Welcome. You have to treat it as a regular job. You go into the office. That's right. Whatever your hours
Well,
are.
I wish that was the case, Ellen, but yeah, actually, I do work 7 days a week between the 3 or 4 jobs I have.
Jennifer says I sleep about 5 hours at night.
Yep, Jennifer, I'm right there with you.
I get about
And
6 to 7 at least.
Jennifer, have you always been able to get by on very little sleep? Like, that's something that I've been very fortunate about. That my body is like usually pretty much okay with like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night.
For me, it's
Hey,
6 hours or
it's-
more. If I get more than seven, it's just something about it just throws me off. And I'm always running around seeing what I got to get done that I didn't get done because I slept that extra hour. Miss Denise, hello, good morning
good
and
morning,
welcome. I
Lady
hope you're
D.
feeling better. Angela says my FOMO has gotten so much better than it used to be. Awesome. That's the biggest thing. You got to work on it. It's not something that can happen overnight. Tooch, man, hello, good morning, and welcome. Driving and listening. Be careful. Stop that texting and driving.
Tooch, I'm gonna be reaching out to you, man. I have a project idea for my publishing house. I need your help. I'm gonna be calling on your 3D wisdom.
He and I was going to meet up tomorrow to start getting my 3D stuff.
He already had one Mayflower moving van drop off stuff for me. From all the 3D stuff I get from him. I'm sure I got more.
I have to make a take time away from my your job. I know that it cannot be charge. You have to. It is important to do that.
Especially Regina
Well,
when you have mountains of bras and clothes to put away.
Jay, that's a choice and likely one you picked because you have goals. Sometimes burning the candle on both ends is unavoidable, but it is a set and end date in this situation. That's true.
Uh, True, but to be fair, Ellen, actually, a lot of it is because I need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Is why I work all the jobs.
And again, I do occasionally on the weekends. I do go and show up on guests on other channels. Like this Friday, I'll be on co-hosting with the Buffalo Picker with Defend the Hustle. It's the last Friday of each month. That'll be this Friday. And then the first Sunday of each month, I am on with Mark and Mike of 2 Guys Vintage and Resale. That is a permanent spot every weekend on the first Sunday or the last Friday. And then, of course, I do pop up here and there on the weekends. But usually, I do not do lives on the weekends. Unless I chose to do a live on the Shop Hop. But I like to try to see about making sure I do pre-recorded. That's why I'm trying to work on my video for this week and finish it for this Saturday. Yeah. And that, of course, starts on my Cajun Roots Resellers Adventures channel. I unplug at 7 p.m. You see, for me, it's 6. Because usually on Sunday, by 5:15, 5:20, I'm upstairs. I'm unplugged. Everything's off. I'm done. On Sundays, that is my time to cut it off. Period. No more. Then I go up and start to relax. As far as I'm okay, swallow the dental crown. Ow! That's stuck in your throat.
Yikes!
Oh, yeah, those bars.
The crown goes on your head, Scarlett, not down your throat.
Oh, speaking of humans, Jay, I think his trip is scheduled for August.
Awesome. Terrible time of year to come to Vegas, but awesome all the same. Looking forward to seeing you, meeting you in person.
Yes, indeed.
So I can add another person to my list besides just Susie. I want to meet as many people in person as I can.
All right. So again, I'm going to switch the topic up a little bit. And this has to do with today's topic because I had to unplug this weekend on a different note. As y'all know, I just started listing on Vinted. Saturday, I listed 14 items on eBay, 12 items on Posh, and I started listing stuff on Vinted. Wow. I went to list my items, and I have a question. I know, Miss Denise, you and Carol and a few others have signed up for it. But my question is, when you get something that you list, does it show up that's saying that it's in progress? And how long does that usually take? Because I've noticed when I list something, it's in progress for a good while. Like this morning, I listed one thing. But this weekend, I woke up to Saturday morning, getting my listings done. I wanted to get at least 10 items total listed on Vinted this weekend. For those that don't know what it is, we've been talking about it. It's a fairly new platform to sell on. It's free to sellers. You don't pay no fees. The buyer pays for shipping and fees. However, I finished listing my items. It kept showing. Actually, I can show you what it looks like right now because I do have one right now that's, and I'm gonna see, hold on. Go to my listings, my profile.
When you say you're waiting for them in progress, how much time are we talking about before it goes live?
Hold on, I'm going to tell you. I don't know yet because I get this every time I list. And this was
Good
listed
morning,
this
Ashley.
morning. And I did all my listings before 5 o'clock. I was done listing by 5. And that's all platforms. All right. See right here? check in progress. This has been going on since I listed this morning, before 5 o'clock. Every time I list an item, I get this, check in progress. But I had something that happened this weekend. All right, you see right here, all these items that I listed. This is the Kendra bags, dust cover bags. A lot of two. I put two of them in that lot together. Well, after I listed all the rest of these, I had it in draft. I got a notification. And in that notification, I had to appeal twice yesterday, this weekend, because I got this notification. Defect in your listing. According to this, it says I had a duplicate item listed. You're not supposed to list more than one item at a time of the same item. Well, I did not have multiples. I only had one.
That's a
However,
lot.
wait, and that's a lot. And I have it in the title, lot of two. However, when I started listing the rest of them, I get this. We've permanently banned your account from Vinted because of fraudulent activities such as selling counterfeit items. So if you go to the bottom, they give you an item that's in a little blue, a colored link like this, where you can take and appeal it. Now that was Saturday. It took me all day back and forth. Then again, we kept going back and forth. They said they were sorry, nothing they can do about it. Went on and on and on. Then I sent them back and I said, okay, you're telling me that I got it because I had, it says here, we're sorry for the taking longer than it usually. Please send us a high quality photo of the items mentioned within 24 hours, which they never told me which item. So I replied back and said, okay, I understand, but I want to know, what item are y'all talking about? Which one y'all saying that is counterfeit? Then they replied back, the one that was removed. Well, the one that was removed was not a counterfeit, and I did not list it twice. So then I had to go back and enter all pictures, and it has in the description, they wanted a picture of the label, all sides, pictures and paperwork, close-ups, logos, visit. It tells you all what they want. So what I did was I did everything from the logo, the bags, the front, the back, the sides, the measurement, the inside. So I sent all that in. Last night, it says, thank you for your sorry, no worries. And again, of course, they were looking it over, la, 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 la. And then all of a sudden, it says, upon review, we have deemed this as a mistake on our side. Your items have been restored. Your account is now unblocked. Make sure if something happens, always make sure to appeal it. They offer you that on everything. But again, the first thing was, it was, quote, duplicate when it wasn't. And second of all, then they came back and said it was counterfeit when it wasn't. So they approved it and they got me back, and I'm back on in a business to where I can go to my listings and be careful. Also, I want to show you something.
So Johnny, that's happening because they're using an AI to go in and check for things that isn't a strong enough AI to know what eBay's having the same problem, where AI is rejecting
so
listings.
What I did was on my very first appeal, and what I did on my very first appeal was I would like to see if somebody, a real person, can view my. I even asked, can I get someone in person to look at my stuff, my items, what's going on? And so finally, I got a reply, but it took a day and a half, which is fine. But I unplugged all day Sunday because I was tired of this. It was aggravating. But be careful, because if you're new to a platform, of course, you're going to get spams. I got 3 of them overnight last night. Same questions. Wanting to know if I do a deal, wanting to know if I can send more pictures, wanting to know more description. Read the listing. Everything's in the description. And that's what happened with me this weekend on Vinted. All right, now we're back. So yeah, be careful. Make sure you appeal it, because everything gets an appeal. You can appeal everything. But I asked for an actual physical person. There's the link if you want to get into that. It's actually pretty cool. Besides what happened this weekend, I just don't understand why it takes so long for them to view and process my listing. That's been since before 5 o'clock. Let's see here. Ashley, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Maybe there are approval, everything before it goes live. I understand that. but it takes a while for everything. I don't know why, unless because I'm
I,
still new.
I go through that at Ingram when we're uploading our paperbacks for distribution. Ebooks go through the fact checker really quickly, but geez, paperbacks can take sometimes it happens the same day, sometimes I'm waiting almost a week or more for somebody to go through and actually look at it and go, "Yep, that book is ready to come out." I can't tell you how many times we've released a new release and there's the ebook, but there's no paperback available because it's still stuck in whatever check and balance they're trying to do.
And Matt, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Let's see. TZ, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Who was the fool that likes it? Oh, look, and I was fired up. That was the first thing I did. Please get a real person to look at what's going on. I knew it automatically. It was a bot. There was no way they could have told me that. Wendy, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are
Hey,
you
good morning,
doing?
Wendy.
From a buyer's point of view, I appreciate Vinted clarifying the listing. As a seller, I understand. And I understand that, but I didn't have it twice. I didn't list it twice. They pulled it because they said I had it listed twice, but then the next time they come back and pulled everything, they said I had a counterfeit item. Well, now you're contradicting yourself because the reason you pulled it was because I had it listed twice. So I'm just bringing this to you to be aware of it, that evidently I'm a guinea pig for it, which I'm fine with, but they did restore my website. Poshmark's doing the same. Yes, they are. They are. But again, come on. I've been doing it, and I've never. And I even said in my one of my replies, I would never willingly and purposely list something that's as a counterfeit. Never. Didn't they give you?
Yeah, but to be
That's my
fair,
question too.
but to
Didn't
be
they give
fair,
you?
the criminals are saying the same thing.
I understand, but I understand. But how is everything this morning? Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Might be able to appeal things. You can. You will be able to appeal it, and which I did. And by last night, yesterday afternoon, it was all back and running. So yeah, it took a little while, but that's okay. I didn't think nobody
Johnny
replied yesterday
doesn't
because it was Sunday, and they're located in France.
Johnny doesn't sell counterfeit stuff, but there's a couple trucks he chases after every once in a while where stuff just sort of falls off the back of him.
You weren't supposed to say that. I am never going to tell you no secret again. Let's see.
Yeah, Matt, the horror stories I have heard about using AI for job applications. Yep.
Good morning, Beth. Welcome. Not sure why you're asking if it's Miss Ellen. Not sure why. Honey, hello. You know I love my AI, but not. Yeah, I know it's not perfect. That's why I asked for a real person to look at the situation when I appealed it.
So
And once you
actually,
give
the
up
whole
the decision, it's closed. So
issue is that they've programmed the AI to basically say if this then that. So they basically said, well, to be on the safe side, if AI says this is a counterfeit thing, let's just do the to avoid any sort of legal exposure, let's just automatically block it until we figure out. The same thing happens to me all the time at Amazon because I do a lot of republishing of books that went out of print, and I'll go to I'll if I decide to upload directly through Amazon, I 3 times now in the last 2 years they've completely shut down my account because they claim that I'm posting books that I don't have rights to. I have to submit copies of the contracts to them, and it's all because no human actually looked at it to see that it was out of print. It's just that their AI is programmed to automatically take the action that gives them the least amount of legal exposure.
and again, and I knew that automatically. But what I didn't understand is I understand I'm new, but like I know, for example, Miss Denise will list something and all of a sudden she can share it out because it's already active. Whereas for me, when I list it, it takes a while. Why I don't know. I'm fine with that. But I'm assuming that as soon as I keep getting into it and list more, I'm getting more views now that I list more items, which I'm fine with. Um, I listed the belt first, no activity. Now I'm starting to get views. So again, I'm okay with it. But that's like anything else. You got to be consistent. So
Well,
today I just listed one item instead of 8 items.
they process Denise because everybody loves Denise,
Well, they didn't love
even
it,
the AI.
which I'm fine with. But again, the items that I did list, there were a few out of those 8. They were a little high dollar, But that's okay. If it sells, it sells. It don't. Because guess what? I got it listed on eBay and Macari, a Poshmark. So I got them on different platforms. And I even put it in a different compartment, organized in a particular place that I know in my SKU. I have it in parentheses, vintage, so I know it was listed there as well. So yeah, it's mostly all jewelry. I got a copyright strike on my own movie on YouTube. That's master.
Right, Michael?
Really?
Isn't it just absolutely ridiculous? And having to fight the amount of time you have to then invest in proving that that you have the rights to your own stuff is just insane. It's one of the reasons why we moved to Ingram for distribution, because now I don't have any of those hassles. I don't have
And
to
I'm
deal
glad
with
you
it.
said that too, because when I first got the first notification, it said I had to have proof because of the fact that I need my own photos. I need to do my own photos. Well, look at the background. Everything in my background is my photos. What you want me to do? Put my logo in it too? No, I can't do that. But yeah, no, these are my photos. I don't use no one else's photos but my own. I always take a picture of physically what I have in my hand. I never use stock photos. Fighting with AI is harder than fighting with me. Yeah, you're right about that. You have to wait in line first, right?
Hey, at least Ellen, at least you can bribe the DMV. Slip a Benjamin to the person, and you're not having to do that eye test.
Yes, indeed. I don't mind doing nothing. I do it all. It don't matter to me. If I fail, I fail. I don't, I don't. What I'm gonna do is I have somebody to chauffeur me around. Hey, drive Miss Daisy. Not. I just can't do that. All right, it's that time. I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping links, Jay. If you want to keep an eye on the chat for me, please, while I do
My niece
that.
got my niece got accused of doing AI on a report. Yeah, teachers have been forced now to run all kinds of essays and stuff through AI chat checkers because it's just become so prevalent for students to write their stuff. But again, it's garbage in, garbage out. It only learns, it can only learn based on what it's fed, and if it's not fed the right stuff, then you know it doesn't learn correctly on what to identify. But yeah, I agree with you that it definitely should not be relied on so much.
I mean, I think it's okay if you're doing research and all, but not to do everything that you need to do on a report or something. No. I can tell the other day, I think it was Friday. I was watching some of the short videos that show up on my main feed, and the one that I saw, the minute I clicked on it, I knew it was created by AI. It was
Yeah,
obvious. And so I immediately clicked off of it because that's not what I don't want to see and watch something from AI like that.
Michael
It's
says
not.
I tr Michael says I trust AI enough to drive my car, but I also watch it like a hawk. With out here in Vegas now, we've got all the Zeus taxis and things like that that are, you know, my husband will not get in anything that is self-driving. He will he's interested by it, but he will not step foot in he will not step foot in it to take a ride whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand is you got to be aware of what you're doing in a vehicle, even if it's a self-driving one. Angie, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good
The
to see you.
Angie.
Not bad. Wow. I like
Yeah,
it now because you can do it online too.
they've learned out here in the desert, haven't they, Ellen? I mean, Nevada's really easy to take care of stuff on. They've moved so much stuff to online so that you don't have to do anything in the office. But yeah, things have gotten a lot easier with having to renew licenses and stuff here in Nevada too.
Little Debbie says, I watched the channel last night, all AI for seniors. Interesting.
Actually, Scarlett, you've got a developer over on your side of the pond that's doing a lot of work with self-driving vehicles.
Seniors believe it. Yeah, that's not good though.
Jennifer and Debbie, little Debbie, the one that's killing me right now is there's a whole series of AI videos that people have created that where supposedly these people go into a dog adoption, but the thing is that they don't choose the dog. The dog comes in and picks whoever they want to go home with, and it's supposed to be this
I
whole
saw that.
emotional thing. They're all fake. There's literally only one shelter that did that once, and otherwise all of those videos were fake, and I was so upset to find that out because I was like, this is so cool, this is so wonderful, and then yeah, all those reactions were all fake. I was really bummed.
I did not. I don't sit down and watch them, but I do see them on my because you know how you can hover over something on your homepage and it'll kind of play. I can see what's going on, and I just don't watch them. I've never seen a place that actually does that. I didn't know if it did or not, so I don't believe it. Let's see here. Don't mark your carb sold before you transfer.
Very true. Yeah. As a notary, I run into that quite a bit. Yeah.
All right, little Debbie's got the link if y'all want to check it out. Oh, I saw the thumbnail for that one. Now that you say that,
I'm
you
sorry,
can't
little
live
Debbie. I've
alone
got a
one
few
person
years
does
before.
one
I've
business.
I've got at least 20 years before I can go check out a senior channel.
I
As
remember that
as I
now.
as I hide the gray in my beard. Yeah.
I remember that because I did see the thumbnail for that. But again, I hovered over it, and you can tell it's automatically that it's an AI. I don't know. I feel like it should be careful. Apparently, yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, you definitely be careful when it comes to that. Tina, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? And you can actually tell also by the volume of the way they talk, and the way that they pronounce words. You can tell it's automatically an AI.
Ashley, it's that thing where it's always a race to find the easiest way to do something, or a shortcut to avoid having to do something, and that's where it runs into the problem. It'd be it when you're having to sit there and do I mean, Johnny will tell you from all the classes he's taking, when you have to sit there and figure out the right prompts to get, the answers that you want. It actually is work to get the AI to do what you want to do. If you're putting in work, then again you're going to get better results out of it. It's garbage in, garbage out.
Michael, I do remember that one with the parrots too.
Oh, the
I watched
gorilla
a
videos
couple
though
of
are
them.
so much fun. I
They're
mean,
funny,
obviously
but
there's no
you
such
tell
thing
it's
as a
AI.
talking gorilla, but oh my God, those were so much fun when those came
I
out.
have watched the parrots, but only on Facebook. I haven't seen them on YouTube. Joanne, hello, good
Joanne.
morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Well, I know a lot of people who are book smart, but not a lick of common sense.
Yeah, common sense is not very common.
Jay, you're 8 months older than me. You'd be more likely to get AARP. I was excited when I got it at the age of 50. I was actually 49 and a half when I got it in the mail. I signed up for it, and then Robert turned 49. I signed up him up. Sure did
Yeah,
on
but
my
Michael,
birthday.
luckily you look a lot younger than I do. If I could get rid of this gray in my beard, people might actually believe I was younger.
But again, it's different. You're using it for different. You're not faking it. You're not making videos where you're making people believe something that's not true.
Right, right. You're not
That's
setting out to deceive people.
that's what
Yeah.
YouTube does not want you to do. They don't want you to create things that are not true. You got to make sure you market it. You use AI to create it, and all the information that's in there is not actually true. You have to market as such. But yeah, you got to be careful when doing that because you don't want to make somebody believe something that ain't true. You got to be careful with that because AI can shut you down. YouTube.
Yep.
Trust me, they don't have a problem with you using AI. They just want you to make sure you give credit where credit is due. Oh, and there's that little toggle that you have to say that if it was created through AI, if it was all about AI, as long as it's not false and you're trying to create something that's not true. Tina, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how
Good
are you
morning, Miss
doing? Good
Tina.
to see you. Welcome. So, what does everybody have planned for the day? I know I got to get my Manny done at 10:30. I don't care for AI, says Heather. I'm learning it. I do use a little bit of it. Um, and I use it mainly for like my through Canva for my thumbnails, and I use it through songs on makesongs.com. I hate the video that actually doesn't match. Yes, and you can see it. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about, girl? Plans today. Work Tuesday. Finally getting a haircut. Then Thursday, I gotta use the razor to my head. I don't use a hairstylist no more.
Matt, what's the podcast and what are you gonna be talking about? And do you have a link?
Live art show today, or I should say the words in action.
Right. Yeah.
Invoicing. I did all my invoicing this past weekend. It all went out the door except for one, and that'll have to go out tomorrow.
Well, here in the underground bunker at the airport here in Las Vegas, we just got in a ton of merchandise for a new store that we're opening. So I'm buried in 14 cases of receiving uh, for the next weekend. Unfortunately, tomorrow and Wednesday are my days off, so I can focus on publishing stuff.
Reseller Lunchbox is the podcast. They just want me to talk a little history of myself and my meetup.
Cool. Well, if you got a link, be sure to post it.
Remember the Wild Wild West era when internet first came out? They came out in the Wild Wild West. Okay, that was the way right now. Don't know about that one because I don't know. I don't think internet didn't come out till later.
No, he doesn't mean the actual Wild West. He means how wild and crazy everything was in the early days of the internet.
Yeah, I had a lot of learning to do too back then. I remember AOL with the dial-up. You got mail.
I was
My
tr-
first,
I,
actually, my first experience with the internet, to believe it or not, even though, even in junior high and high school, we didn't have computers. We had the old typewriters, the physical manual ones.
yep.
And then as we got into like our senior year, we did have like a computer that we started using, but it was the basic kind. It wasn't like the Dells and stuff like that. It was whatever it was we had in school, but the big old monitors, big tube ones. Yeah. It wasn't until I got into the Navy and then started actually using like the floppy disk, for those who know what that is. I learned a lot while I was in the Navy with that. But that was my
My dad
actual experience.
My dad was an educator in Syracuse. He was a history teacher. Then he was working for the school system, and he brought home the original Apple II, the Apple II computer. So I mean, right from an early age, my sister and I were raised on Apple computers, and it really, I mean, that we were around it our whole lives.
Wendy says I have a doctor's appointment today, and then I will be working on packing and invoicing. Ah, okay. Susie, hello, good morning, and welcome in right
Susie,
on from
good
the
morning, Miss
post
Susie.
office. Have a good. All right, Susie, have a good day. Susie got her video already done for Saturday, by the way, y'all. So does Jay have his thumbnail done? And who else? Maria, California Thrifter's got hers ready for Sunday. She's doing a lot. Let's see. Little Debbie says, I'm waiting for it to show up in the stream. Do you have your old computer, or what do you do with them? Do they die?
I wish I did. I wish I still had all of those old Apple computers. God knows they'd be worth a fortune at this point. But over time they got swapped out. They got exchanged for newer models. And same thing I want to do with my husband. I want to swap him out for a newer model, something that's a little faster and a little glossier. Um, but yeah, I wish I still had them. But with some of the Windows ones, it's always wipe the hard drive, and then I usually donated them somewhere, usually to a school system or uh, some shelter that could use them.
Matt says he still has his Commodore 64. Robert not only has his Commodore 64, but he has every single old-fashioned computer he's ever had.
Commodore
He's got a
64 was
museum of them.
awesome.
He's even got the Commodore 64 in its original box that he kept the box to put it back in. For me,
Uh,
you can recycle them. Um, like for example, at Staples, which I can't speak enough of this, things like old batteries, old computers, printers, electronics, you can bring them in for cash back on your membership account, which is free, by your email. And that money adds up to where you can use it towards other purchases. That's what I do. When a computer or a laptop, and I'll take the battery out, of course. That's a separate container thing that you have to do. Because they also recycle old batteries. And I bring them in, get my money back, and let them do what they got to do with it. I sure do. I don't keep all that. I ain't got time for. I ain't got no room for all that. Found out the desert. No, I fed a sore eye puppy. Yes.
Oh,
Oh yes, indeed.
good old plants. Yep.
Oh, red-headed question. Who's getting ready for Easter? Not me. I got newer model in addition to
always,
actually
always be,
the computer
always
I'm
be
on right
trading
now.
up.
I just did it myself, and the battery was dying. It wouldn't keep in charge anymore, so I just ordered it and put it in myself. Very easy. I do
Always
whatever I
be
gotta take to keep
trading
it
up.
going. Huh?
Always be trading up, whether it's electronics or people.
Matt, I still have my first laptop. And usually when I trade up, I give him the Robert because he uses them for parts. He's always creating and doing something. So that's what I do with my old ones. He fixes it up and he keeps on going with it. That is 4 p.m. Eastern, 5. What is going on with
Yeah,
you? Oh,
yeah, Ellen. From what I hear, Arizona is like the Australia of the United States. Whatever's in Arizona is definitely looking to eat you or do something worse.
okay. No. Okay, that's this afternoon. I had my Easter decor out for a week. You know, acting young. Yeah, okay. You go with that, girl. Yeah, I used to do all that in New Orleans. Every holiday, my tree, I kept one tree up. Every holiday was changed for that year. I don't do all that no more. I got too much work. It's too much work for me to take it up, pick it up, put it down. Because nobody comes over here, first of all. And second of all, our street is in a cul-de-sac. The only time anybody comes here is if it's work that's got to be done at the house. Why waste the time? I'll never forget my first year. I decorated it all the way out, the whole 9 yards. You know, it took me over a year and a half to take that shit down because I didn't want to take it down. So after a while, because every time you drive into towns, they must not get the memo that Christmas is over with because guess what? Everybody still has Christmas stuff up all year round up here. I can't do
I
that. No,
you
it's too
know
much
what though?
work.
I love Christmas lights. It just makes me happy. It makes me feel calm. I if I keep a string of Christmas lights on the railing going up to the bedrooms. I keep those in year round because I need that little bit of comfort. I would keep our tree up year round if Luis would let me, but
I even did all that. The wreaths on the front door, decorating every holiday. I had a whole little room full of every holiday had a different wreath. I even decorated my house in the living room area. Yeah, it's just too much work. My front door wreath is colored eggs. Yeah, I used to do all that. But you know what? I ain't got time for that no more. Why? Just for me to look at it and have to take it down? Because if I put it up, I got to take it down. Now, in Louisiana, I always had people coming over and visiting. That was different. Yeah, I ain't got
well,
time for
I
that.
or you do it for your own enjoyment and because it gives you it fulfills a certain dopamine hit for you.
Yeah, but the taking it down that I don't like.
Yeah.
Johnny, my there's a reason I can open the Halloween store out of the garage. That's probably true. I don't doubt it.
Your house has got to be the one like everybody wants to see on Halloween, Michael.
You know we're gonna see pictures of it.
Especially now that this will be your first Halloween in the new house.
Yeah, I've been organizing all my holiday stuff so it's easier for me just to take out and list or pack or decorate my booth or whatever. Yes, it is. It's just I just don't like that's too much work.
Little Debbie, I would love to do like those flags that where how people always have a flag that they switch out for every time of year or anything. But I just don't have anywhere to actually put that flag holder, and our HOA is kind of stupid about it. But I always liked those houses that had a flag for every single occasion.
I have a flagpole that I used in New Orleans, but when I moved here, I really don't know where I can do it to where it'd be safe to put because of the housing, the finish on the house. It's not. It's I just can't find a place, so I just don't deal with it. Probably have to go through the bedroom window to do it because the only place it would be upstairs. Crystal, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see
Good morning,
you.
Crystal.
So yeah, I probably could. I think there is. I have to look, but I think I got to go through the bedroom window to do it. Yeah, I just don't feel like doing all that. OMG, look who's here. It's Chuck. HOAs are
Howdy,
terrible.
Chuck.
Yes, they are, because we did live in a HOA when we bought our new house in New
They
Orleans.
they are the devil. Yes.
Yes, they are. Keeps a little tree up on your. Yeah, I used to. It's just too much over here. I used to do it in New Orleans all the time. I
Yeah,
just
I guess you're right, Ellen. I mean, I bought really cool purple windshield wipers. They just went really well with my car, and I was all excited. One summer, that's all it took for them to be completely destroyed. One summer.
yeah, I understand that one. Scarlett, thing that we do at Halloween is let the kids new costumes for free.
That's cool.
Aw, that is cool. That says I don't have much room, so I have. Yeah, yeah. I got so many different size trees. I even have the one that you put on the top of a desk. I have the 7 foot, 8 foot, 13 foot, and every room used to get decorated with. Like I had a white flocked one. I had one with multiple colors. I had one that was always silver with the purple and gold colors, and yeah, it's just too much work. Yeah, I still got the trees though. I've learned the hard way not to. Yeah, it's just a lot of work, and if you ain't got the time for it, why do it? I mean, I don't. There's no reason for me to do it. I know, yeah, it'd be a good thing for me and but yeah, I just don't like the having this take it all down, pack it back up, and put it away.
That's why my mom eventually gave up on doing the Christmas, even though it wasn't actually her doing it, but she, it's my dad that was doing it, but she would just kind of, she had it with all the labor that went into it.
Well, like at the lake house, our lake house that we have, I have a room full of crates and totes full of Christmas decorations when I used to be at the lake house and decorate every year. It's just going to be getting listed because I still have it in its original boxes. I'd put it up, pick it up, pack it down, bring it downstairs, and that was the end of it. That's a lot of work, especially when you're doing it by yourself. So you pick your battle when it comes to picking things up at the end of how much you put out on your displays. So what I do, I just don't do it. I ain't got time for all that. To me, it's just a lot of work. And again, if you have the time, you have family, you have kids, yeah, I understand. I ain't got all that no more. I got time to do it. I got other times things that I can do to be happy to do. You know what I'm saying? That's just not one of them.
So
I do a
TZ's
small
doing
amount.
TZ's doing Easter Arts and Crafts live at 11:30. Once again, folks, if you ever had an art teacher that just wasn't very kind to you, or you want to do something and you were made to feel less than because you didn't necessarily have the skills, please go watch TZ and have her teach you stuff. She is the most patient and most awesome art teacher I have ever run into. I give her a ton of credit for it.
I laugh so hard when I see the tourist in a low riding Mustang or similar. I rented in Vegas to visit with the glass sidewalk. Glass sidewalk?
Yeah, Glass Skywalk. Oof. Won't get me up on that thing.
I haven't decorated for holidays in many years. I'll be about. Yep, yep. But I would do it. So yeah, I brought a strawberry hanger plant. Oh, okay. Be careful renting those fancy cars in Vegas. They don't have been. I bet they would be. Uh-huh. Thank you, Jay. I do my best when I'm helping others. That's all we can do. Patience is a virtue. Sometimes it's hard to do that, but yeah, you got to try to teach somebody something. So, Jay, you got anything coming up on your channel anytime soon?
Uh, we are going to have a special show. We found we had an extra Tuesday, so we are going to have a show. We just
Yes.
haven't said what that show is going to be yet. It's going to probably be a surprise, probably to me as well. Um, and then, of course, I am on the reseller shop hop coming up this Saturday. We will have Teresa Ing as my guest interview on our shop. Teresa is a phenomenal editor and writer who really makes a point of highlighting female authors And she and all the authors she works with are some of the best promoters and marketing folks that I've ever run into. And we're going to talk a little bit about marketing, because a lot of the things she does will also be very useful to resellers. So as she talks about all the effort she goes through to get her book seen and to get sales, but she's a really terrific. So that'll be our shop hop entry.
Cool. Also, don't forget today at 10:30 is the East Coast Resellers, and Janice is having her show with Denise this afternoon, and Mia's going to be on. Usually, she's on at 6:30 or 6, either 6 or 6:30 with her show, her live auction. Don't forget to check her out as well. And if you would like to come on after the show's over, the link is at the top of the chat. You're more than welcome to join us after the show has ended. As I say before I end each and every show, love always, love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day. Until we meet again, later. Peace out, and y'all come back now. You hear?
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana. Here at Cajun Roots Reselling, you make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all.